Hey guys, Josh with Link Spider. So this is kind of take two. It's actually take three because I just did a video a while ago and I played it back and there was no audio. That's pretty frustrating. We'll talk about that later. But the take two portion of this video is that we did a video earlier in the week and we were talking about that SeaSucker mount, the vacuum cup mount. And we didn't really give it good ratings because it didn't do what we needed it to do, in that the camera was vibrating. And of course we talked about we had a wheel out of balance, and turns out if you are missing a couple of weights on a couple of wheels, you definitely will have a vibration in your car. So got the wheels balanced and rotated today, but the camera is still vibrating. And that makes sense because this cup, this vacuum cup, has to flex in order to mold on whatever it's sucking up against. And unfortunately, the plastic molding that is the structural integrity of the device sort of bends around. And it's unfortunate for our needs, but it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's just, I don't think it's supposed to hold a camera. It will work in an environment where there's something that's not vibrating or moving, but we were hoping that we could use it to do stuff on the road. We make deliveries twice a day. We're in the road we're on the vehicle all the time. So was really hoping that that was going to work for us, but unfortunately it did not. But like all of our videos, we don't necessarily record just to tell you about that little stuff. We also take the opportunity to record because we want to experiment with this environment. So we're playing with the Mevo ecosystem. One of the other things that we're playing with is using one of these travel routers, the iNet. I believe this is the AX 1800, I think is what it is. Travel routers allow you to use kind of, the same routing technology that you use at home, but you can power it through USB. You can use it as VPN, but what we're using it for is to really simplify the process of turning these Mevo cameras on, leaving them in Wi-Fi mode, setting the SSID, the network on this travel router, the same as what's in our shop, so that we can turn these cameras on, do some recordings without having to go through the configuration process, without having to go through cellular and all that stuff. And if we want to do a live, we'll hook a hotspot up to this router and use that as the Ethernet, or as the internet output. But anyhow, using the Mevo Core as the primary, using the Mevo Start as the secondary, and both of them are on SeaSuckers. This is the 6-inch SeaSucker holding the core, and then I believe it's a 4-inch SeaSucker that's holding the Start. And the Start actually looks like it's doing pretty well, mostly because it's in a vertical mounting position, so I might experiment with that. But the other reason is because, well, the Mevo Start's just a lighter camera. So as far as mass moving around, there's just not as much of it. But you're definitely going to see vibration in this camera because I can see it. You may not see it in this side shot, but I can definitely see it, and I'm sure you're seeing the motion. The camera is set to 4K. This production is only going to be 1080p because when you use multicam, 1080p is all you can get. But the actual recording is 4K, and that means that I don't have EIS turned on. If I had turned EIS on, then I'd be 1080 out of the camera. But because I don't have EIS on, you're probably seeing even more vibration than what you saw in the previous video. So anyhow, all of these things we're testing: the Mevo Core, the Mevo Start. It's been around for a while, but we're still testing it within the ecosystem. We're testing that mobile router, and then we're using the Rode Wireless Pro connected to the back of the camera. I've got the transmitter on my seatbelt strap here. Interesting thing, I tried plugging that in. I've used the USB in or the USB out from the Rode receiver in the single cam, and that worked really well. I could not get it to work in multicam. Didn't spend a whole lot of time on it because I was wanting to get this video done, but ended up just plugging USB in the back of the Mevo camera, and it seems like we're producing audio. Although, like I said, I did a video 10 minutes before this and played it back and there was no audio. I did a couple of things on the multicam app that we're hoping will fix that issue, but we'll see. Wasn't real pleased with that. It's frustrating when you think you're producing something and you find out later you're not. It should be obvious when you're not producing audio, but again, we're still learning. We don't want to push that on Mevo right now, but as new folks to the Mevo ecosystem, not necessarily Mevo, but to the Mevo ecosystem with the multicam app, we're still learning. Wow, the camera's really vibrating. Anyhow, proof of concept did not work. SeaSucker, we will not be using this in our vehicle shots, but we are still seeking something for that. But if there's things you guys want us to test, please don't hesitate to reach out. Josh at linkspider.com. See ya.